Greetings, one and all, to this week's 10 o'clock, episode number 366. I've done...
Execute Order 66.
300.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. 3 times 66. I forgot to start the footage. My bad. Right, so, yeah, this is a episode just between Loz and I, doing something a little bit special, which we spoke about a few weeks ago, in fact, and, yeah, so we'll get to that soon, TM. So... moving on to the first thing that we always do, which is emblems. They are on the screen right now. Loz, can you see the emblems?
Yeah.
Cool.
On multiple screens.
For some reason?
Yeah. Well, no, because I've got the stream there, and then I've got Discord up there.
Of course. So, okay, so first off, I'm pretty sure I've not used this one before, right?
I don't think so. We've had a lot of similar ones, but yeah.
I went all the way back through all the emblems to make sure that I hadn't used this one before. I'm pretty sure I couldn't see it anywhere.
There's similar things, but I haven't seen that one before. I can't remember that one.
However, yours is a weird thing. I assume it's like the sun and the moon eclipsing each other.
Yeah.
Right. Mine wins. I was like, is he going to argue this? Right, so...
But, it's not hard to find bloody emblems at the moment.
It is getting a lot harder.
I'm just happy to find that one today. I'm just like, you know what? At least it's inventive. I don't even care.
One thing I would really like them to do is just remove the platinum cost for buying the emblem. Like, I'm fine with the platinum cost for submitting an emblem to be implemented into the game, but can we get rid of the platinum cost for wearing the emblem? It's just... It's old hat. Like, it's just,
yeah.
you know.
Or why not make it that the one... So that anyone who's purchased one, it does a particle effect where it sprays off just particles spew out of it, and then everyone can have a normal one for free. Yeah. But anyone who's had to pay one, you get the cool, shiny, particly one.
Yeah, something like that. So, if you wish to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find this week's polls. Put in all your answers you want, and you'll be entered into a chance of winning 75 platinum. So, yep. Right. Turn that off before they stay there forever. Moving on to Dojo Dusting. One thing certainly to announce. If you go to my Twitter, you will find a giveaway currently going on for Nezha Prime, what's called Divine Spears bundle. So it's like the top tier stuff. So all you have to do is, I'll put a link in the description below. I'll try and remember to put a link in the description below. There will be... You just need to retweet, follow the account, like, and put a comment to... It's supposed to be, why do you think Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy is about Nezha? But I just put, reply that Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy is about Nezha. I fucked it up. So just reply, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. What are you going to ask something?
I'll put it at the top of the notes for you.
Yes, I appreciate that. Now the question is... Oh, no, I will look at the notes because I need to get the times. Right, so our topics for this week. So topic 1 is, I think we should lose in the new war against the sentients. And topic 2 is MDRLOz and Xeno's Steel Path enemy concepts. I'm pretty sure that's what I put. I'm just waiting for it to slowly scroll back. Yep, there it is. Okay, cool. So, yep. So we're going to go straight into topic 1. I think we should lose the new war against the sentients. We don't know if the sentients retreated during... Oh my god, my brain is just completely... Right. We don't know if the sentients retreated due to losing the war or just to execute their master plan. What if we were going to lose the old war anyway, and Hun Hao just decided to minimize his losses? It does say we were going to. Okay. Sentients rebuilt their fleet and hit us with everything they had and completely wrecked us, turning the new war campaign into a fight to survive. The Lotus is not entirely up to whatever era's plan for the war are. Oh my god, this English. And I'd speculate that currently she is so completely broken that she is neither with them nor against them. A cool twist would be freeing her so she can help us repel, okay, the invasion, or convince the sentients to leave.
Well, she ain't going to convince the sentients to leave anytime soon, I can tell you that, because then we'd have no game. It's interesting. I'm with this topic. I would like to see a loss. It just, the constant escalation of fights, and then you need to have something which grounds your characters or something, or creates a new paradigm in the game, and that would be the best way of doing it. The problem is, how do you do that while maintaining the solar system as it is? And this is what I know we all, it's such a usable thing, but this is the sort of thing that World of Warcraft came into a sort of a problem with. So you've got the world, and do you change that world and segregate off the player base into the new version of the world, and then can they play with the older version, or do they not have access to it? For the longest time, they were like, "Oh, we can't do this. We don't want to segregate the player base. We can't have the world being affected. If the world changes, it changes for everyone." And then now they actually do it. And what it is you can go back, you can talk to a time dragon Chromie, and she'll send you back to the pre whatever happened. So like when Undercity gets attacked. So a city gets attacked, and the official timeline point of it is the city is now no longer in the hands of one faction. But if you need to go use that city for any reason, you just talk to the dragon, you go back in time, and then you can access the city as normal like you could before. So the same thing with Warframe is that they're so locked in to the solar system, and it really is getting to the point that it's like, well, the narrative needs to move away from that, or it needs to change and be able to evolve. I was hoping from the start that, especially when I know we had Gravidius Dilemma, that they were going to do this kind of thing, because we saw that factions per node were changing. So I thought they were like, oh yeah, they appreciate that the solar system needs to be a living thing that can change. And then since we had the new version of the solar system, it just becomes this start to finish that they seem really afraid to walk away from or adjust or change. Like, I'd love to see it. Let's say the sentients blow up a planet. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, just they blow up Earth, or they blow up Mars or something, because they try and take it, or they try and free something, or we try and build a weapon, and their solution is just screw it, blow up the planet. Yeah. But then how would you make that actually be a part of it when the planet needs to be there for people who are working through it? I mean, we have a little bit of this sort of thing, which would be good when you get to like a node and you can pick, I want to play the nightmare version, or the we don't have alerts anymore, but the infestation version, or the nightmare invasion, infestation, nightmare. The node does give you options. But and now we have Steel Path, which kind of does that. But then Steel Path, if you could do like a Steel Path, but for the plot, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that way you could just click on, move me back to everything now, but everything that we've got now becomes the classic version. No, it's classic version. The past part of the game, and the game can actually move forward onto the new solar system, or the updated one where something has happened big like that. So at least then plot can happen. The enemy factions can actually have an impact that has a persistent effect on us.
So obviously you're right that there is this huge design overhaul that would be needed to do it. Personally, I'd be like, yeah, Hun Hao is supposed to be at the bottom of Uranus. Just blow up Uranus to free Hun Hao. Sure.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah.
But the huge problem is that how do you handle the interactions with Uranus? I mean, obviously players that have done Uranus, like have done the whole star chart, have done the second dream and everything, they're fine. But the new players that haven't done it, how are they supposed to deal with it?
Right, yeah. So do you either force them into the new situation of events, or do you give a method where it changes at a certain point?
So,
but then you don't want to round off the players that they can't play with the previous players, because then the new players will be like, this is an empty solar system. It's like, no, it's because everyone's in solar system 2, you know?
So it's not just that, but you've also got to consider the players. It's like the D will have to maintain this old stuff as well. So it's like the reason why didn't they hold on to the old corpus tile sets? It's because they're gonna have to maintain them. Like, oh, we've done new lighting engine, we're gonna have to put the new lighting in the old tiles, so on and so forth. So
yeah, it wouldn't. That was not too big of an issue, because there's not really the tile sets. A lot of the tile sets pull multiple duties anyway, so you wouldn't ever be leaving a tile set behind. They even use the Grenier Uranus underwater labs on Earth, you know.
that's true. That is true. I
Yeah.
think, like, realistically, if I could redesign how the game operates, the first thing I would do is a lot more object permanence, where yes, let's just bloody nuke Uranus, right? So anyone that does the new war no longer has access to Uranus unless they are playing with someone that has not done the new war that can select Uranus.
You don't have to go that far. You can add in an option for it's simpler just to let players go play the old version, but that's not they understand that's you unlock the new solar system. That's where the new stuff is. This is kind of like going into the past. I don't feel you really want to be so critical of, oh, they can only access it if they play with a player who has it.
I totally get where you're coming from, but then it's like I do not like how they've done what you've described with World of Warcraft. It's just, it is such a bloody mess. It's such a mishmash of, wait a second, I thought the whole point was that they destroyed this Undercity. Why the hell can I... No, you can still go back there, though.
You travel through time.
It feels like a giant cop-out.
No, seeing as for so long they refused to even do it, and the only way they did do it is they did in the Barrens at one point. They added like a war scenario thing for like the battle for Orgrimmar, again, where you were like getting supplies from the war song or something.
Yeah.
But then that was a time limited thing where everyone could see it because it scaled to your level. But then once it finished, it disappeared. I much prefer this other system where you can just go back in time and you get to experience, well, this is the actual one. You can go back in time and use the city. You don't lose the city, but at least you can, if you want, you can stand in the broken city and still go like, look, the city's gone, you know. And in the plot, the city is gone. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the alternative is that, as you said, you know, you take out Uranus and everyone loses Uranus, right? Maybe, you know, just like they take out the Corpus ship tile set, everyone loses the Corpus ship. Like, new players that haven't experienced it won't experience it. And I'm fine with that. If it's everyone gets their cake and eat it, or no one gets it, I'd much rather no one.
someone has to have their cake.
Why?
Because that's the point of the cake.
Oh my god. No, Lars, the cake's been eaten. Someone else ate the cake. You were too late to the cake party.
That's how Warframe feels now. I don't have any cake. Someone's eaten all the cake. I've got an empty plate.
Yeah, so, but one thing I want to bring this back to, I've accidentally kicked over my crisps. There we go.
You've kicked over your crisps.
They're in a Pringles tube.
Those aren't crisps.
Yeah, they are.
Pringles aren't crisps.
Aren't they? I thought they were.
No. They're potato-based snacks.
Okay, is it because of all the MSG in it? Right. So the one thing I really want to point back to this topic, though, is the title says, I think we should lose the new war against the sentients.
Right, yes.
However, everything they've discussed, there is no losing. The Lotus is not entirely up for what Era's planning, blah, 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 blah. A cool twist would be to free her so she can help us repel the invasion or convince the sentients to leave. Like, no, that's winning.
Sentients rebuild their fleet and hit us with everything they have and completely wreck us, turning the new war campaign into a fight to survive.
No, but I mean, isn't the cool
I know the
twist?
next bit. What?
Isn't the whole this whole thing about the cool twist? Is that not we win? It feels like we win. We've defeated the enemy. They've left.
Yeah, that's the thing. The last bit is stupid. A cool twist would be freeing her so she can help us repel the invasion or convince the sentients to leave. If they remove the convince the sentients to leave, that'd be fine. But repel the invasion. I suppose, yeah.
No, again, I don't want to repel the invasion, right?
Yeah.
Just like, so this is something that I really don't like about plot-driven narratives where it's got to have a twist. It's like, could we not? Like, what if aliens come and abduct people and they're super strong and powerful and they're skulking around, but they're deathly allergic to water
and doors.
And doors? What movie are you thinking of?
Signs.
They were allergic to doors?
They couldn't get through wooden doors.
Really?
Yeah, they trapped one in a pantry.
Really? Oh wow, I do not remember this. But I'm glad we're talking about the same film, though.
Oh yeah, the wooden doors seem to be like the one person. The main character meets Shyamalan. Meets Shyamalan, the director who plays a character in the film. He's talking to him in his car, and he says, "Oh, there's one in my house. I trapped it in the pantry." And then the preacher, Mel Gibson, goes in, looks under, and then the thing tries to reach underneath and grab it, and he cuts his fingers off. And it's like he trapped it with a wooden door.
Wow, that movie!
What terrible aliens are these?
That movie was so bad on so many levels. Like I just remember the water thing.
It rains on this planet.
Yeah. What was the plan when that happened? Oh, don't worry, we'll shoo away the rain.
We literally spit acid at them.
Oh my god, are we xenomorphs?
Basically.
Actually, no, xenomorphs can't spit their blood, but yeah. It's and I really just don't like, but it's got a twist. Like another big one was Captain America in the Civil War comic event, the first one. I'm not going to go into huge amounts of detail, but the whole point is full blown out war. Manhattan's pretty much destroyed, and Captain America goes, "I surrender." What? Why? And it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just people who write things.
Oh
typically...
no, yeah, I remember that. No, isn't it because somebody dies? Somebody big. Somebody can make themselves big. Gets killed.
Oh, no, that happens early on.
Someone.
I
know.
I think it's like Hercule or something like that. But no, that happens like way early on. No, he goes like, "We are destroying Manhattan. I surrender." No, because like no one would budge, kind of thing. And like, so he gives up, and like,
it was
Manhattan's
like,
gone. You fucking nuked it. You just like, it's just too late. Just fucking finish
it. Ridiculous that it would make sense if he'd never had a fight before, but it's like, I refuse to be on this registration thing. Well, we want this registration thing, whatever. It's like, we're going to have a fight. Right, you know there's going to be a fight, Cap. Yes. You know, things in fights get broken.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're down for this. It's more important that we fight for our ideals.
You were in fucking World War II!
Exactly. And it's like, but the city is damaged. Yeah, because we were fighting. Hang on. Because we were fighting, you fucking fool. It doesn't make sense. Just like, but things be broken now. It's like, yes, we had a fight.
No, there are a number of instances where in movies, in comics, in video games, when there was a twist that is just a complete pivot 180, or you can't really see how on earth they possibly alluded to this, and it bugs me. It's like it's shoehorning something in, or it's trying to catch someone off guard, and it doesn't make coherent sense to the rest of the narrative. Like as Loz said, aliens coming to take over Earth that are deathly allergic to water, and it fucking rains. 3/4 of the planet is fucking covered in water. Like, oh no! It's clearly they're elite soldiers. They're spraying water everywhere. There's a fucking fire department. They have weaponized the water. Yeah, it's called water pistols.
Their entire infrastructure is designed to supply them weapons everywhere. No, it's called plumbing. Kind of need it.
So yes, this whole cool twist thing, to me, it's not a cool twist. It's something.
And they have a torture device where they stick our heads in and then they melt them slowly. That's a toilet.
And we don't stick people's heads in them. Well, unless they're cruel kids.
cruel, nasty children.
Anyway, what was I going on? Don't like plot twists. I like the idea of us losing the new war. I'm pretty sure it's fairly established that with the old war, we kicked their ass. I can't. Yeah.
Or they. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know anymore what happened in the old war.
I mean, to be fair, it feels like they have retconned a number of things with, like, the Lotus turning around and saying, "I was a mimic." I'm like, wait, what? Since when were you a mimic? Anyway.
My favorite things. Will you swears now? Will you swears now? It's ridiculous. Have you done the glass maker fight?
I've attempted it once, and I realized too late what it was I was meant to be doing, so I ended up losing the majority of my revives, prattling around, going, oh shit, that's what I meant to do, and then I was killed. I need to do it again for, like, tomorrow's arbiters. But I am, like, to not go into specific detail because I want to avoid spoilers because it only came out, like, a couple of days ago for us. So I want to give people a chance to do it and everything. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, like, when I swear, like one of the Intrati refers to clowns at one point.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I swear they do. I swear one of the Intrati, like, uses the word clown.
It's so lazy with these terms. They used to be so good with that. No, basically somebody says, like, go to hell, you bastard. Like, one, adding the word hell into the Warframe universe, meaning Christianity still exists or existed, or the knowledge of it still exists, and the word bastard still exists. It's like, oh god, you don't need these things.
Yeah,
like, they should have their own insults.
I don't mind insults that are derived from it. I think out of all of the terms that we spoke about last night, bastard is probably, like, the one that I could, like... No, it wasn't bastard. It was humans, wasn't it? That was the one that I would
humans. Yeah, they use the word humans as well, which I'm like, why would they... We'll get this another time because I'm tempted to do a whole video on it because I feel it's weak. But anyway, back to the thing at hand: losing the war against the sentients. Right. So this person says that, then they somehow go, oh, and then the twist is we win because Lotus saves us. It's like stupid. I would like to say I like the concept of this, that we do lose the war against the sentients, the new war, but I'm not sure. I mean, like we discussed, how it would be implemented is my bigger issue. I would like, and this is the kind of thing I think Warframe needs. It needs that expansion feel that shakes the very core of the game. Look at World of Warcraft. Though Cataclysm was a not completely, the scope of it went beyond what they could achieve, but it was a massive thing. There's still people who no one lists that as the worst expansion because it did deliver loads of massive changes to the whole planet.
Yeah.
It felt like a world-changing event.
Just to elaborate slightly for people that don't know, so in the vanilla World of Warcraft, you had the 1 to 60 experience. The Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King expansions, the first two expansions, never touched the original 1 to 60 content. However, Cataclysm...
They had their own separate islands that were...
However, Cataclysm reshaped a lot of the landmass of the original 1 to 60 content. They redid the quests because they learned a lot from the what they had developed in the first two expansions. And so yeah, they did a huge overhaul and it made it so much better. They have not done it again since. So like there's still like old content, like the Burning Crusade is like the next oldest piece of content that has not been changed or reshaped.
In theory,
it's unlikely
because that's what WoD was. But anyway, that's how they're going to do it now.
Whatever.
I don't think they want to go back, and they're not going to now because they've kind of almost made it. You can just ignore expansions now. So
pretty much. So that's what Loz is talking about, and
so to achieve that in Warframe, let's relate back to Warframe. That's why I'm saying that you've got the solar system, but you can't just ignore the solar system and go, "Oh, the sentients win." Like, whoa, but I can still do all the nodes on every planet. Oh, of course, but they won. Like, they didn't win much,
so
then, did they?
I see what you mean. So, like, you could actually have nodes, because this was your original point. You have nodes on the star chart, which is like maybe older versions of the node. So you could, after the sentients win, every node is like controlled by the sentients instead. And
I think after thinking about it, the best way to do it is like Steel Path. Like you would toggle on to, and then give it and you default to that. I think once you unlock it, that's the default, and you'd have to swap into the previous solar system to go back in time, kind of to experience that. But then there's the default solar system when you log in, you go to it, and that's the we've got planets blown up, the sentience won. Most of the nodes just say sentience. The Grineer are like off on asteroids and spaceships and things, that kind of stuff.
I feel that they would have to have a lore way for players to like relive the experience. Like you could say like, I don't know, Teshin 2. Like, so basically, like how you have Chromie and the
it's what you do. I know what you're saying. So when you select, you could have it that your little story thing that the solar system you're accessing through the star chart is you're not actually going back in time, but it's like a simulation, like a conclave practice simulation of the solar system that Teshin puts in so you can prepare, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could go
the
Sanctuary route. You could go, you're reliving players' memories, because like that's one mechanic.
I like your Sanctuary one. Sanctuary one's best. Don't do memories. That's fiddly and meh. I like Sanctuary. You've knocked on the head with Sanctuary.
So you don't like the whole game mechanic, the design mechanic of like, oh, and then this happened in the past, and then you're playing as that character instead.
No. I think you're good with Sanctuary. You could even say that the Sanctuary taps into your memories to give you a practice thing, but I like Sanctuary. It combines your memory with the recorded data of the Sanctuary. Would be a good way.
It also gives more for what's his name, Samaras.
Yes, yeah, exactly, which is good, which brings the character back and gives them good. But that's why I thought the new war was going to happen in the Tau solar system. And that's why they showed us that. Because that way you can go, well, this is, and it gives us a reason to go there because we're protecting the solar system and we're going away from it so they can do whatever they want and blowing up planets, whatever in that solar system, because that's a different experience. And the whole leveling experience, the solar system, the void, all the quests, they become protected in a bubble and it becomes like an expansion system. Like in WoW, you could do whatever you want in Outland, it won't affect the it won't affect the 160 content. And that's how they do it, is the solar system is bubbled and we're going to fight away from the solar system. And it works for the plot because our characters are defending the solar system, so they wouldn't want to fight in the solar system. Instead, D just seemed to be like, solar system, and just stuck with it. And it's like, right, but are you gonna let Smith plot on? No, don't touch my solar system. My precious solar system. It is precious. I cannot damage it. No, nothing persistent, nothing changing. No. Put it on a shelf. It's safe now.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think the answer is the Steel Path alternate.
Yeah. Toggle.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Right. Should we go to the replies?
Yeah. Oh no, actually, you don't need to put the top in. Okay.
You don't need to get.
What I could do though is scroll. See how this works. Yes. Beats down the sentience in a fight, but gets instantly killed because of guessing wrong in a game of rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
What the fuck is this even trying to say?
I have no idea. Next one. We already lost. Look at the updates since the old blood. All a mess.
Oh, fucking evil. Yeah, okay. Since old blood? No, I'd say Deadlock Protocol was fine.
Deadlock Protocol was fine.
Yeah.
I think If anything, right, and I like it, but I still think the only patch which I feel is a bit of the mess, and it's kind of like a stone that's dragging down everything a little bit before and afterwards.
Can I
was
guess?
Railjack.
Oh, I was going to
Oh.
guess Railjack.
When are you going to guess Railjack? Because the thing is, it's just not fixed, and it's just dragging out the sort of
Yeah.
like gravity that's affecting big time. Next point. Error equals ballast, i.e. the real OG error was destroyed ages ago by the Tenno/Lotus and or the MITW Mitwe.
MITW?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Who was clearly pulling their strings at the time.
ITW.
As of currently, Ballas is playing a game. To what end? Only Ballas and DE know. Likely, probably only Ballas. Let's be real here. Yeah, do you know, it really annoys me that they ever since the person said about every update, I would say the story has been messed up ever since they did that. Do you remember when the Lotus gets taken by that short patch with Ballas comes in and takes the helmet
prologue?
off? That was their first mistake, and then they've just been continuing that mistake continuously. Because they want to get stuff out to the players, they say. So they release these little snippet quests, and thus the lore is sort of happening. But a sacrifice, I guess, brought us in, and then we kind of went out again. And then it's just like the plot is like, oh, but Ballas. So think about Ballas' story. Apart from the sacrifice, where you basically just stab him once and that's it. His whole plot from appearing to where he is now, like shackled and half mutated on the floor, you barely have any interaction with him, or he barely has anything to do. It's just like time has moved, and they've thrown out snippets, which might as well be YouTube videos between him appearing again and where he is now. And I just feel no connection with him at all.
So
barely turns up.
I want to, if you will indulge me. So this giant muppet over here, I'm talking about myself, thought that, do you know what would be a good idea? I'll start writing webcomics. Again, please indulge me for 2 seconds. So one of the big things I did was I would write a webcomic, but I would write it page by page. I never wrote the whole chapter or multiple chapters or any form of overarching plan at all whatsoever. And as a result, this webcomic was a fucking convoluted mess. Thank God it doesn't.
Which one was this?
The vampire one.
Yeah, you did have some overarching stuff for that.
Yeah, but nowhere near.
Or maybe not the story.
Yeah, that was the problem. It was.
I sat you down and was like, right, let's hash out some background for these characters.
We did the lore, right?
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the plot. The plot wasn't, and that's honestly how Warframe feels developed. It's like it might be overly critical to say, but it does feel that the narrative structure of the quests just isn't coherent. It doesn't feel like anything's being particularly alluded to. Like you've got the whole Deadlock Protocol with what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Nathaniel?
No, Parvos Granum. Sorry.
Oh.
With Parvos Granum, referring to going to create ties with Yudico and also the Intrati. And it's like, and that line is nothing but an Easter egg to lead on to the Heart of Deimos. Are we going to see Parvos Granum appear on Deimos? I would happily bet, I'd be like 50 quid, no, he will never turn up on Deimos. And this is something that has become apparent with the Apostasy Prologue, with the Chimera, whatever the one with Ballas, and he gives you the Paracesis, the what's it called? Oh god, the new war snippets that we're now getting. Like it's just we're getting teased stuff, but it doesn't coherently fit together.
And I do appreciate that it's not like they can do extra work to fix it this year, because with people not being in the office and COVID and everything, it's not like this is going to get fixed this year, is it? I'm not, I've got quite low expectations for the normal December patch, because we normally get something in December to tide us over, and my expectations are quite low for that. Not in a mean way, but because I do appreciate they don't have access to their
facilities,
motion capture things. They don't have access to their normal workflow and people. So it is going to be I'm quite reducing that. In fact, to be honest, I just like an update to Railjack, would just be nice.
Yeah, no,
so,
I if DE, say for sake of argument, DE are working, they're listening to this for some strange reason. They're like, two British knobheads. They seem to not be giant twats. Like, the thing I would really like is if they took anything away, don't touch the plot until you can do something big and major. Don't give us any snippets anymore. Like, the cinematic quest is the formula that works, right? If they can't do a cinematic quest, hold fire, but certainly go fix Railjack. That's the thing. That's the what you call it, the baby that needs loving right now for Warframe, because we've literally had nothing since its release, and
they did an overhaul patch and that was it, which was good.
Yeah, but I'm not really going to count that, because that's like saying
that's what you normally expect for a patch to come out, and then it to get a bit of an update patch to fix niggling issues anyway. That's just like average. So that is just part of the main patch. Like, it gets at least one overhaul thing. I mean, every Warframe normally gets like one mini overhaul thingy. So does it look like I'm folding my arms?
It does.
Wait, hang on. Good. Kind of not, but
okay.
Well, I'm trying.
Right.
At least it looks like it. Right, where are we up to?
Okay. Continue with your replies.
I think it's my tiny small screen. Can't see.
The unlabeled cinematic.
Yes, what's that?
Your hand?
The unlabeled. Yeah, there's a thing on it though. What is that? One-handed movement. Okay, well, whatever. The unlabeled cinematic further leads me to believe that Nata is being brainwashed, since she says she specifically remembers seeing Era die during the Old War, and yet here he is, and is restrained before she can say anything else. She's clearly being manipulated for a purpose, but for what and by who, I don't know. Could be Hunhao, could be Ballas.
It doesn't.
Oh God! If it's going to be Ballas, this is going to be stupid. It's like Ballas, like, this was all tricks and trees. And
then why give us the paracesis?
Why do all this? Yeah, it's like,
right?
Couldn't you have just done this in a simpler, less
convoluted way?
Yeah, there we go.
Right. So, like, why bother taking? But I'm trying to manipulate the Lotus. So you took off her restraints with the helmet. Yes. Why didn't you just put another helmet on? One with different restraints.
Why did you turn her back into sentient?
Why?
To what end?
Why did you have her turn you sentient? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, too many actions, not enough
all
explanation.
In your mind. He's not actually a sentient. That's a mimic of him.
Oh God, please don't.
Mimics are great, but have they released mimics into the normal world yet?
No.
That's stupid. Right, last point. I'm hoping that it's actually Ballas who's behind everything, and that leash that Era keeps Ballas on is actually the means for Ballas to control Era.
You mean the thing that Era dropped? It could be literally anything. It could be like, so Ballas was gone for so long because he reconstructed the sentience. These are the sentience 2.0 where he's in full control. Like, they're all linked to his brain. Like, why? Why fucking go that far? It doesn't make any sense. You are inventing too much that does not go with the lore of the.
I love that there was a simple plot. It was there was the sentients who were in another solar system, and they came here. We fought them. They corrupted or twisted or tricked us, so we killed the Orokin. But at the same time, the sentients are stuck in the other solar system because Lotus tricked them again or something. And in the other solar system, there's just a big pile of sentients for us to go massacre. Good job. There we go. Move on.
Really, what I think they should do is have, so say in the tower system they've finished their Stargate, and then in the Origin system where the sentients came back somehow, they build their Stargate, and then Tau just start throwing rocks at us. That's what I'd fucking do. Just aim the Stargate. Yeah, oh look, we've just thrown a moon at you. Yeah,
I feel this is the plot of Starship Troopers.
Oh shit, is that the plot of Starship Troopers?
Well, the bugs shoot asteroids out of orbit of their planet at Earth, and then the whole invasion starts because one lands in Buenos Aires, so they're throwing rocks at Earth. And then you see later there's like they build this orbital defense platform which blows up rocks that the bugs throw at Earth.
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's just like instead we've got.
Would you like to know more?
No, stop it. But instead we've got this like horrendously convoluted. What the hell's going on? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Like, can we not have another Alad V, please? Right? Should we continue?
Well, that's it.
Wait. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Right. So that's it for topic 1. Let us move on to topic 2. Cool. So we're talking about our concepts. A few weeks ago, Loz and I spoke about, talking about concepts for enemies that are specific to Steel Path, and we thought, well, considering that episode 366, it's just going to be you and me, we'd actually give this a proper go and things.
Right.
And yeah, so I've queued up yours first. Your first one. Are you good to?
Are we going to do all 3 of one, or are we going to alternate between them?
We're going to alternate between them. So one of you, one me, one you, one me. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to have my Word document open with all the information I put on these, but I'll try and do them from memory.
Yeah.
So what I'll do before I start is I set myself a few goals for these. That one of my goals was couldn't be humanoid.
Okay.
They had to be. Oh god, actually, I'm going to need the Word document, aren't I? Because I can't see.
I'll pause.
Yeah, I had notes. Yeah, do you want to pause? Cool. And that's recording. Right, cool. I got my window up. That would make it easier. There we are. Self-imposed rules. Okay, so I had several rules. First rule, they can't be humanoid. 2, based on an existing mob/item design, so something that exists in the game already. They had to be large area effect mobs. You couldn't just ignore them. They would affect like one tile or several tiles.
Okay.
They were not direct combatants, right? I didn't want mobs you fought. They had to be mobs in the environments. They were already also provide, because this is something I already love, that they provide an environmental effect as well. It's like like the diggers, the grenade diggers and things.
Yeah.
Or domestic drones. That's what the kind of thing I was looking at. They had to be functional, could serve a purpose in lore beyond fighting experience. An effect on player choice. E.g., you either ignore the mob and deal with the area effect, or you attack/deal with the mob to stop, or it changes the effect. And if possible, you had to interact with them through other tools or means. You didn't just things you shot. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Those are my rules. So let's have number 1. So these cool pictures. Is it going to come up?
Yep.
Yay! I know everyone loves domestic drones. This is kind of a souped up. I call it the Void Aerial Denial Drone.
Okay.
Naming. So my rules for this one is a small corpus proxy robot based off the domestic drone, but a bit larger or chunkier. It's got the look of it. It's got 2 small nullifier style tanks on the back, and so yeah. But the underside. Oh, wait for a sec there. What was that?
Oh, that might have been me like trying to find the right window so I could actually.
Look at the Predator.
What? Was it a Predator?
Well, I only saw it for half a second. Anyway, and then the bottom is basically supposed to be like a K drive. So what the reason for this, because it can float a bit higher than a domestic drone. So my goal was that you see nullifier technology being used more. It's obviously domestic drone, you see that. And also it explains where K drives come from. So the bottom of these is basically a K drive. So these the vent kids probably rip the bottom off of these when they get broken, and that's what they're making the K drives out of. So this thing can move around and act like a K drive and go up walls and things. So there's 3, and I also made variants on it. So the first void one is called Void Energy Stabilizer. So what it does is it absorbs surrounding void energy. In normal, if you don't do anything to it, it's a large area drain, energy drain, and shield drain. If you kill it, so it's because what it's doing is it's actually stabilizing the void in the surrounding area.
Okay.
So the corpus would put this in areas where it's like to combat the you know, when you do relics, obviously like there's void rings.
Yes, yeah.
So,
Void
so the
fishes.
corpus designed this to protect their areas from that.
Right. Okay.
So it's kind of sucking in void energy and storing it in the tanks. But that means while the area effect is massive, remember I said everything is at least one tile, if not several tiles. You know that there's these things having effect, and it's obvious you can see where they are because you can see the energy draining towards them. It's an energy drain and a shield drain. Or if you kill them, all the void energy is released from the nullifier chambers, and then it puts on the same area a nullifier field permanently.
Ooh.
Because all that energy which is being stored and compressed just pops out, and it, you know, for the tile. Oh, I've put 3 minutes here, but maybe you could say permanently. So either you deal with energy drain and shield drain, and you can be like, right, I've just got to deal with it, get through it, fight my mobs, get past it, out of its area effect, or you kill it and it'll have nullifier effect, massive nullifier effect.
So I really like this. How you may have already said this, so please take it. We've not spoken about these. We're doing it live now. I don't know if it was a good idea that we didn't talk about it beforehand, but I think it is. So how do you kill them? Do you just shoot them and they die?
These ones you just shoot. Or you,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Right.
what I've just like. This one I didn't. I tried, if possible, interact with other means. This one you don't interact with any other way. You just shoot it to blow it up because you can see where it is. But it's your choice. You don't have to shoot it.
Okay. So so you could.
Do you want me to do the?
So just to make sure I understand, right? Because again, a lot there. So it disables your abilities.
The nullifier field, yeah.
Yeah. And it's multiple tiles large.
Yeah, massive bubble. Massive bubble.
It disables your abilities and your. Sorry, did you say it consumed your energy and your shields?
So if you don't blow it up,
yeah,
it's sucking energy. So because it's stabilizing the area, preventing the void from breaking through. Okay. So while it's doing that, it's draining energy and shields.
Okay.
Right, but which will also affect the corpus mobs. We want to put the shield drain on that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, within the area. But then you're going to have to endure it. You know, you're going to have energy drain. But you can either, if you blow it up, your energy will be protected. You can carry that through. Yeah. But then your shields won't be damaged anymore. But big nullifier field.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Do you want my other two variants of this then?
Go for it.
Right. So because I think that's what. So the other two, that's the basic idea. So the other two, first one is. So variant 2 is Void Cryo Stabilizer. Oh, so this one, imagine in a room, let's say on the Jupiter, and the tower is broken, because they're like big towers in the gas city, aren't they? Yeah. And it's heating up. So they would release these. These are released as an emergency coolant system.
Right.
So what it's doing, it's keeping the room cold to stop the machinery in the walls from overheating.
Yeah.
So if you don't kill it, massive frost area for the whole, again, map wide for whole, you have a frost effect permanently on you, which would let warm coat could actually affect this. If you have warm coat on, you could, there we go, there's a mod. And if you kill it, it will destroy it, but those map tiles it was affecting become superheated, causing fire damage to you. So you have to choose which effect you want on you, frost or fire for those map tiles.
So just to understand, right? You said map wide, right? I'm assuming. I'm assuming, right? There wouldn't just be one of these buggers for the entire.
No, this one, the whole map is in. You might even be able to see it on the star chart. The tile is like this tower overheating. Sure. Void cryo stabilizers are deployed, and then let's say every third map node, you'd see one of these, and you make a choice: either blow it up or just deal with the frost.
So would it have the same effect as so the adjacent tiles? So say it's like in the middle of the chain, the one before and the one after, are they also filled with frost as well?
I think that the void for this cryo one, there'd probably be one of these per tile on this one.
Right. Okay.
This one would be direct, because you'd see lots of these throughout the map, whereas the void one, it does multiple tiles because it can stabilize the whole area. But this one, they released when the map is heating up, so there'd be one of these per tile, and they'd float in the middle, so you'd easily spot them. They could float around and things. They're big things. So
So with the other one, it negatively affected the energy of the shields.
Yep.
Would this
energy shield drain.
Would this negatively affect? Right. Okay.
No, because it's like what is the story?
Suits.
Yeah, so the first one, yeah, the for that one the corpus also have insulated suits. Yeah, they don't get affected. No, so the first one, it's each variant is like what is the canisters doing. The first one, it's shield and energy drain versus a nullifier bubble. The second one, it doesn't do anything draining or anything. It's replacing those tanks with coolant.
Yeah.
So it's either freezing the area or the area is going to overheat. And then the third one is the infested version, because everything should have an infested version. The tanks become small hives for micro-infested organisms. So if you don't blow it up, it's a stacking armor and shield debuff over time, because there's just a hive living in those tanks on the back.
Yeah.
But if you kill it, so that's an armor and shield debuff over time. If killed, the swarm is released, HP drain over an area, and it reduces your visible range. But your armor and shields won't be affected. They'll just go straight for health. You have to choose which debuff. Yeah.
Interesting. That's the infested armor and shields versus health.
You see, so this is how I wanted my mobs to be, is that it was choice, giving player choice of the experience. You know, a bit like how you choose to end a sabotage mission. You can choose different ways of ending it. Yeah, but I wanted to have that method on multiple maps and things. So this is what the theme is for all my mobs.
I'd be interested to hear from our audience, like, is there for that one specifically? I think with the cold and the fire one, it's very simply a case of, like, would you rather everything be on fire and you're bullet jumping along kind of thing, or do you want to
everything's
hunt the thing
cold
down? Yeah, do you want to spend the time hunting it down, or just want to skip along? Going back to the cold one, I would say certain tiles should not be affected. I'm talking about like the huge open outdoor ones. Like there's one where you've got
yeah.
But going back to I'd be very interested to hear from our more technical player base who know more about builds and shit. Would the health negative health, so the health loss, be more preferential to the armor and shields loss? That is the comparison.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, I mean they could be played with and things, but obviously. That's is you see there's a trade-off thing. That's what it is. Yeah. So anyway, let's have your first one now.
Oh God! Right. Okay.
So is it I click this first spoiler?
It's the first spoiler. Right.
Right.
So the first one I have is
that looks cool.
The Dax Ronin. Right. So, so the idea behind the Dax Ronin is a mixture of different visual aesthetics. They have what's it called? Like, they could be using a Sindo axe. They could be infested or covered or amalgamed. But the narrative side of it is. I've written like these huge walls of text, so if you want me to skip through it, just say. Otherwise, I'll just read it.
Go for it.
Right. Lost to the passage of time, and honestly, we don't know how long it's been since the Old War. Lone Dax are found scattered across the Origin system, left aimless, bar for a single drive to complete their last task set to them by their fallen masters. These Dax have suffered a conditioning glitch where they were separated from their Oricon masters and continuously execute their last order. However, with the passage of time, the order gets warped, as each time they try to remember it, it slightly changes with misremembering. Dax Ronin are specifically the Dax that were set out into a combat as their last mission. There are other Dax that can suffer this fault, but that not necessarily be Ronin. Yeah. Some of the worst cases of Dax Ronin are where they simply remember the order kill. Right. In order to defeat Tenno, the great betrayers, Dax Ronin will often resort to alternative methods to enhance themselves. These include Kuva, infestation, and becoming amalgams. And the justification these Dax Ronin give themselves is that it was the order to complete their mission, to kill the Tenno. Dax Ronin are battle-hardened warriors and can reflect incoming gunfire to other enemies, even back to the source. Dax Ronin shouldn't be engaged with any non-melee weapons. Warframe offensive abilities have little to no effect on Dax Ronin and can often be redirected to other targets. So like they can send it back to another player or even to like enemy Grineer or Corpus in the area. Dax Ronin will choose a Warframe to duel and will engage in sword-based combat, or basically melee-based combat. Dax Ronin also aren't limited to a single sword and can use any weapon stance that a Warframe can. With the inclusion of the Dax Ronin, this would introduce it would be the introduction of a melee parry system. So there is already like melee parry in the game.
Yeah,
but
how often do you use that?
Yeah, exactly. Right, no one fucking uses it because it's
so convoluted.
Well, it's not just that, but it's just like, oh, bang, dead. Yeah, Indiana Jones powers, right? But this would properly have you involved in it. At the time, it would only be viable for Dax Ronin, but could be expanded to include Shadowstalker, Kuvalichas, and other special mobs. When the Dax Ronin attacks a player, they'll need to block it just before the attack lands. That will give the player the opportunity to attack the Dax Ronin without it being able to properly defend itself. Gunfire at Dax Ronin during the defenseless phase will immediately take it out of the defenseless phase, and the shots will be redirected. Redirect the damage elsewhere. Dax Ronin will chase down players between rooms and can move as fluidly as Warframe players. Like, they can do the whole bullet jumping and everything.
Yeah.
So that's the idea I was going. And the whole idea is that you would sort of like stumble upon one as you're doing missions, and it would have like, it could be this one is designed to be like infested, inspired, where it's got like cracked armor because it's not been maintained. The armor's not been maintained, and it could, amalgams, could be like drenched in Kuva, could be void powered, right? It's so the whole point is that this is going beyond its original capabilities so that it can defeat the Tenno, introducing this parry system as well.
Okay. So is that the variants, or is that other things for variants of it?
No. So that's the variant. So it'd be like different weapons, different like.
See, I love the picture because it looks like a Dax ancient. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
But basically, you're saying that there's also ones which still have their arms and just look like a normal Dax, but are just a bit.
No. So like, all Dax Ronin are fucked up, right?
Yeah, but Kuva wise or infested wise, or I mean, I wish they were just all infested just because of time, and they've just all been exposed over time. Because I love that look of that infested one. But I also feel this would make a really great plot character. I love the whole thing for getting, changing why it is doing something.
Yeah,
because it's trying to remember it, or it's just so long. I like that. That's really cool. And I see what you're trying to do with it. You're trying to basically put melee enemies in the game, which they keep trying to do, and then they just don't.
Yeah. So it's like the whole point is that the Dax Ronin would actually make it obvious who it is that they're targeting. Like, they would encounter them sort of thing. They'd actually point their sword or tendril in this instance at the Warframe player that they were going to fight, sort of thing. And like, if the Warframe player was like, oh, I'm not going to fight you, it will hunt them down. It will chase them down and, maybe even pounce them and things like that. But yeah.
I also love the ancient sort of collar at the back, which the basic ancient has, and because then it fills in the kind of gap. It's like these are people who haven't quite succumbed and they're using force of will, whereas the other ones are people that old that are just fully consumed. So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. Should we move on to your next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. I need to get the image up myself. Okay. So,
well, again, I've seen a Predator. He's gone.
Oh, God, what is it? Like, hold on. It's probably because I'm...
Is it your desktop background?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's the desktop background.
Yeah, right. Okay, so my second one is the repurposed Grineer Ore Miner. Okay, So, Grineer ore processing mining robot, sort of like a smaller variant of the Tusk tanks, deployed into areas where Grineer and slaves can't be trusted to mine efficiently. However, instead of a rounded section with 4 legs, it's hexagonal shape with a leg at each point. Against a person would come up to about, I say about waist height, but maybe they should be a bit bigger than that. Because I also in the picture I did ask for more rocks. I want more rocks. It's supposed to be like a mini mound of rocks, like a proper mound of rocks covering the back. So imagine it's sort of like a turtle. The top cover, the top is shelled. These things, the above of it is covered in rocks. I mean, It looks a bit too. It's not wide enough, I don't think, the image, but it's still a lovely fan art.
Yeah.
Not fan art,
Concept
art thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, wider, much wider. I want to, because it's supposed to have a lot of rocks. And I'll get to why it's supposed to have a lot of rocks on it in the background. Oh, sorry, on the back in a sec. Right. So, However, instead of its upper armored section, there is a large ore deposit. This is sort of an automated mining robot that is like a walking table. It stores additional/useful, harder to break ore on its back. The feet double as robotic arms to put stuff on the back, and 5 legs, 5 or 6 legs, additional legs rather than the 4 on the tusk thumper, allows it to be balanced while still add stuff on it. So if you watch it, it'll be picking things up and look like it's adding to the pile on its back, because the arms can flip around and add rocks on as it's digging. Legs are also much thicker and armored than a tusk thumper. The thing is not meant to move fast, but should be able to survive, because it's supposed to be able to survive a cave-in. It still has the lower disc like the tusk thumper, a foot on each leg. Point that is actually the foot of each leg. Point is that it actually reach any vulnerable sections to destroy it quickly. Oh yeah, right, yeah. So I think I put lasers on the bottom of its legs as well for digging. But the point of the whole point is to what it would do. You can either ignore these completely, right? But they're going to keep mining, which will disrupt you, because they're going to use their mining lasers, which will be they'll just dig in any direction. Like they'll just their legs, they'll be like, I'm mining over there. It's like the big laser beam cuts across a room. It's also got the thumper effect, so it'll just keep doing that. But it's not directly attacking you, right? But if you want, because it's so armored, because this thing is chunky, right? It's not supposed. They don't expect it to fight, but it's just annoying. It's also supposed to survive a cave in. It'd be like they dig it up and it'll just keep going, right? To get at it, to be able to destroy it, you have to use a mining tool to break down the pile of rocks on the back.
Oh, damn!
Yeah. Because so it basically is acting like because the only weak point, because it's so chunky and armored, the only weak point is actually under the rocks. To get at the weak point of it, you have to break down the rock pile on the back of it using a mining tool. So you're gonna have to you could just keep fighting mobs, but I mean these things just keep thumping, they'll keep lasering, because they just want to dig. They're just there to dig. So you could just ignore it and maybe hug onto walls and things, or fly in the air so you don't have to deal with it. But it's just these things, and there's lots of them, and they're going mental digging. To get rid of them, get your mining laser out. I don't know what the mini game would be if it's thing, or if you just focus on the different rocks, or if it'd be the standard, because it's moving around. So I think it'd be maybe a different one than the normal mining thing. But you have to use the mining tool, and you have to be focusing at different areas to break down over time the armor on the back, so then you can blow it up.
I really like this. I was wondering how you're supposed to interact with it. I genuinely think the idea of using the mining laser is awesome, though one thing I would say is so I assume this is I would probably say lose the mini game. It depends. No,
I don't think the mini game would work as well. I think maybe you just have to use the mining laser, but when you shoot at it, you have to heat the rocks up, and they heat up and then bits explode, or maybe you have to when you're pointing the mining laser with the HUD up, you can see the weak points, and you have to go around the robot to see where you can attack the weak point from, something like that. It would be simpler, but more about looking at what you're doing. You don't have to do a mini game of it. Wouldn't, because the thing's moving. So would you see normal like Grineer and things around with it, or would this be on its own? Well, yeah, because it would be deployed normally on its own, but Grineer obviously like, oh no, alarm, better rush into that area to blow stuff up. Normally they'd leave these things be, but they sometimes obviously fight in areas they don't have think they have to, because they didn't think Tenno would turn up. So then these things are just, so again, it's like if there was no one in the room, these things would just get on with what they're doing, because that's why I wanted all my mobs to be like this. These are just things that are supposed to be doing something. Yeah. So there's three variants.
So, but a question I have before you continue, right? Question I have: will it resupply the ore as you're fighting it? Will it?
Yeah, that's why I wanted it to have the animation of its arms to be able to put rocks back. So if you left it, it would put. If you got like one or two gone, oh, I better blow up this grenade. It might just go, oh, my rock pile's being a bit heavy. I better put some more rocks on it, and it'll just start restacking itself.
Okay.
And that's why the picture is. I love the artwork is great, but I think I should have asked it to be a bit wider, and the rock pile be even made to the point that the rock pile's almost falling over the thing. Like the top is supposed to be a turtle shell of things. It's my fault for not requesting it, but
sure.
Yeah, but it's still lovely. The legs are how I wanted them, like nice, because the North truss thumpers the joints are quite exposed, and you just knock off the things. These things are supposed to have chunky legs, but they're so armored that you just like, well, you could try and blow it off, but it's a chunky leg.
Happen,
it's not gonna,
yeah. Like I do like the. Oh god, no, this concept is actually really, really good. So
it is. The legs are perfect and the shape of it just needs to be bigger.
Yeah. So
more rocks.
I can easily see that you've got the laser funnel sort of thing on the sides of the legs, which is like really, really good. And I actually really like the fact that there's grooves allowing the leg to, because if you look at the side legs, they're not flush to the shape of the leg. It does go. So no, I really, really like this, and I love the idea of using the mining laser to get to its weak spot.
Yep.
Can you get mining resources from these things?
Of course.
Good. Moving on.
That's the thing. So as a player, you could either ignore these things and just focus on your mission, but there's a benefit from either dealing with the mobs around you, because there won't be these things are not annoying you, and also you'd get a different reward. There you go. But it's effort. You have to put an effort to get effort out. That's the whole point of mobs. So anyway, my 3 variants, right? Okay. First one, because remember these things are sent into not where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Radioactive rock.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. So while mining it or while whatever, it's either ticking down radiation damage on you or
radiation procs. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
The second one I put a crystal miner robot. I can't remember what I meant. I can't actually remember what I wanted for crystals. I think it was it's supposed to be different. What would the crystals do? I can't remember if they were refracted energy, so that while you're mining them, if you mined them too fast or something, that would cause AoE pulses because it would build up energy within the crystals.
Right.
Something like that. I think that was I can't remember that one. I don't seem to have notes on. I didn't put it. And then obviously the third one, because everything can be infested. So it's an infested rock miner robot that has a small infested hive on the back, which is part rock, part hive. And to break it down, you have to mine it again. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. Like that. Okay. Moving on to my second one. I'm also leaving like best for last. Okay.
Are yours all humanoid?
No, they are.
I like it's great because
I kind of want to say the last one is, but you'll see what I've done with the last one. Okay.
Beth Marine.
That did not change. Why did that not change? Wait, no, sorry. That one's my one. Sorry, my bad. I was like, why is this not changing? It should be changing. Right.
Beth Marine.
So, this is the Grenier Bass, right?
Ooh. Chunky boy.
Yes, very chunky boy. As part of the response to the ever-growing Tenno concern, what?
Or girl.
Actually, no. These were like specifically the male Grenier, because the female Grenier are like too highly valued. Like, so this. I
like that. You got the plot reason. Yep. Right. So I assume it's not going to be good. Whatever's going to happen to this poor chap in this thing, then. Right. Okay.
As part of the response to the ever-growing Tenno concern, the Grenier have created a mobile suit of armor dubbed the Bastion. Right. What makes the armor different is the micro-lathe housed in the armor's lower abdomen. This lathe functions as a method of reconstructing the armor of the unit from a surplus carried throughout the body, as well as resources it can take from the making contact with the floor. As a result, it's continuously repairing itself. Its plug-and-play nature allows any Grenier to hook into the armor. However, it is a death sentence. Because of the neural load applied to the Grenier's mind, the Grenier cannot ever be removed from the Bastion armor. The primary method of attack is bare-handed combat, as well as charging at players. If it charges into a surfeit, it will stun itself for a duration comparable to the amount of damage it has taken. If the bass has taken too much damage, it will hunker down and start to go into overdrive to repair itself back to full health. When it's in this mode, it will be invulnerable as a mechanic to stop players from trying to outdamage the auto heal. In order to defeat the bass, the Tenno need to get the bass damaged enough to climb on it while it's stunned, and then pierce the Grineer's spinal cord situated at the base of the neck. So the idea is it's very much oh god, what's the pokey thing in our hands? The Assassin's Creed pokey thing?
Yeah, I can't remember its
it's
name.
called.
They
Right.
gave it a stupid name. I had a better name.
Assassin's Creed pokey thing. So the whole idea is that this is very much a big chunky boy that is there to like really lay into the other into the player base, into the warframes, and yeah, you can't just kill it through damaging it. You have to you have to damage it enough that it won't go into this overdrive heal mode, and then you have to sort of like get it to ram into a wall or something, or some prefab in the environment, where then it will stun itself, and then you just kill it. Yeah. I will say this is my weakest of the three.
Well, no, I like it apart from the... I like the not over damaging thing, because that's the that I was hoping we'd come up with things with these mobs. They have to do something different, and that's what we've got here. So people who just come in and shoot it with their super rivened up catch moon, it'll just hunker down and be like, right, I'm just going to turtle up for a sec.
Yeah, and
it's like, right, I'm off again. Knock it down, right? Okay, fine. I'm just going to keep doing this.
And if it charges into you, it will just complete one shot you, sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I assume it. How high is the Tenno on this? Is it about the hip?
Yeah, I'd say about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So these things are like twice the height of a Tenno.
Well, no, they're supposed to still, like, in all honesty, I wanted this wider, right? Much like your drone boy, so your table, right? Your drill table. I wanted this wider sort of thing. I wanted it to still fit through the door frames, right?
Right.
Because I didn't want it to be like, I'm stuck in a room, much like a necromech. Yeah?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be able to go through doors. So, like, the idea was that it was big and wide sort of thing.
Well, I noticed he has treads on his feet.
Yes, that's for the charge.
So to go through doors, it could probably, like,
kneel down. Yeah, potentially. Potentially, yeah. Yeah. So it has treads on its feet. That's the big thing about the charge. It also has, like, a power fist. Very similar to, what's his name? The Hulkbuster in Age of Ultron. So like it just like has this pneumatic fist. Just, poof. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the idea is that whoever goes into this armor, like they're never coming out of it, sort of thing, and they're just in sheer agony the entire time. So
yeah. The design of it, I wish it was a bit more scrappy, a little bit, because I also love the idea of why the Grineer would design this. Because they can't kill sentients with small arms.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they look. I love that they could look at like, well, how did Tenno kill them? Well, they're using swords and things and powers, right? So clearly, things are able to hurt these things. You just need to hit it. You need to hit it with more things.
You need to hit it harder. Yeah.
So they build these things just to be able to pump so much power into just physical brute force.
Yep.
To just break down a sentient. So this could also be used to be Grineer and sentient development.
Yeah,
that's why I wish it was a bit more because it looks too good. I wish it was a bit more clunky. Like you got all those pipes and things and the things, but then you've got that mechanic of like it's supposed to auto repair. But then if it was more simple with like large armor plating, it was just like it just welds armor plates onto itself.
Yeah. So like the big thing is that shit, what was I going to say? Like, a lot of what is the bass, also notice that bass is like the first syllable of bastion. Because like, the whole Grineer knocks thing. Like I was like, I can't think of a single word that, oh wait, no, just chop off half the word. It's fine. There we go. That's how the Grineer name shit.
Right, yeah.
But the big thing about this was, yeah, it has plug and play nature. Lore wise, it has plug and play nature. But the idea is that when the Grineer inside it is burnt out and died, they just put another Grineer in it.
Yeah. So they got to the point that they see a Grineer. You could even stick ghouls in this thing because it just needs it to charge forwards, and the Grineer is expendable. It's just because instead of having an AI, just chuck a Grineer in it, but it's just like a giant self-repairing wall that just
And that's the thing that you could. Sorry, I hadn't thought about this, but this is one thing they could do in the actual gameplay. The armor's still there intact. You've killed the Grineer inside it, and then the Grineer have to basically eject the corpse that's in it, and then climb in to put someone else in there.
Yeah, no, I thought that there. I thought that was part of the concept is that you're never actually going to blow up the armor because the armor is just going to.
I didn't think about it mid-game. I thought it like between game sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, you could totally do it mid-game.
No, I'd love if it just sat there, and if you let a Grineer, like a turret, if you let a Grineer get to it, it'll just get in it.
Yeah. So
because they're happy, they see such a benefit to when they get to equip one of these that they can just destroy their enemies. That they're all happy to sacrifice themselves and just jump in the back of it, and they're never getting out again. But they get to smash things. Yeah, I can be on that.
The variations I have for this is so I'm not 100% happy with one of the variations. The one I like, it has like rocket launchers on it. So like I visualize them as like racks on top of the shoulders that can have 3 missiles in them sort of thing, and they can fire the missiles at the Tenno if the Tenno are quite far away kind of thing.
Right.
But the other thing I would like, which would only really be viable in open world environments, is actually a jetpack on this thing as well. So it can lift itself up in the air and just drop itself on the players.
Fair enough. I'd love if it doesn't actually do it with any finesse.
Oh god, yeah, just like and up
it's not gonna do
and off.
It's not going to do a superhero landing. It's literally just going to be like, right, I go up, I go down.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's it. As I said, this is the weakest of the 3.
Okay.
But yeah, should we move on to your next one?
Yeah, sure.
I have to remember. So is this your last one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
That button.
Cool. I need to click off on that. And more of that. Oh, click. Thank you. Right, so
I need to quickly find it because it's not in the same folder as the others for me, and I can't look at it on this tiny little picture.
It just looks like an Iatan, basically.
Yeah, well, I still want to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Right. So I call it. So this is I put here Orokin Orb Resource Balancer, or I like to call it the Great Equalizer.
Okay.
So this is a small. So the security eyes that you see in the quest, like Orokin clearly use floating weird robot sentry things in the towers.
Yes.
Yeah, security eye thing.
Yes.
Loud.
Sorry. I was trying. What the hell is he talking? You're talking about in Lua. Yeah.
Yes, the big security eye, right? So a smaller mass-produced version of the security eye /flying Iatan sculpture that monitors area and drains resources from the player. Because this is if left alone, this is how this thing kept all of the towers that you see. Why are they all pristine? They're not falling to pieces. That's because this thing goes around and keeps everything as it is supposed to be. Like if a wall gets damaged, it would fix a wall. So if you come along. So
this is an Orokin domestic drone.
Sort of.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
But a domestic drone doesn't do anything to you. This thing doesn't this thing sees you as garbage.
Okay.
Right? Okay. As all in addition to it. Because Orokin demand perfection, and you are not perfection.
Yeah.
Right. So that monitors the area and drains resources from the player. This is basically a flying. I put a flying beach ball object, but I like the actual final one because it's got the opening thing. I put beach ball solid object with lots of rotating / orbiting sections that protrude from it, like the moon. I also wanted another example. I gave it for the moon has that cool sort of like ring around it.
Yes, yeah.
I wanted that kind of effect, so that's what we kind of got in the opened up version. Like the moon, bits more moon. It has large range and normally tries to stay away from players and up high. Because there's another thing I want you to have to aim up for once. It has because if the enemies aren't allowed to aim up to shoot us with
we have to aim up. To
bloody archery. I'm like, well, fine then, make us look up. If it has line of sight to a player, it will drain it of its relevant resource from the player, Breaking the line of sight will stop the drain. So from the bottom, the lower section, is if that has any line of sight towards you, it will focus a beam. And you can see the beam, so you know when you're being targeted. And it will start draining from you. If a player... yes, so here's how you interact with it.
Sorry,
before
you continue, you're saying resource. Are you talking energy, or are you talking about stuff you've picked up?
So there's 3 variants. The variants are what they drain. One will drain your shields, one will drain your ammo, and one will drain your energy.
Okay, cool. Right, yeah, keep going.
So they're floating around, and they'll be within a tile. So imagine do you know the room I like to imagine? No, you could go with the tree. You know what you mean by the tree room.
I know what you mean.
Do you remember? Do you know the one that's sort of like it's multi-layered, and there's like 2 sides to it, and there's a bit of water underneath at the bottom, and you can go down underneath the water bit, and there's a couple of lockers down there. But it's sort of I would say that the one void tile with the most doors in the most different areas of the opened ones. You've seen this tile hundreds of times.
But it has water in it.
A little bit of water at the very bottom.
Oh, but do you have to go through stuff? Yes, I know.
Yeah,
it has an elevator in it as well.
Yes, it does have an elevator as well, and it has the most convoluted amount of doors. It's not symmetrical in any way. Yeah. That's the kind of room I imagine this thing just floating in. Because it's just multiple layers, and you can block that on a site, but it's just going to be there floating in the middle of the room, being annoying.
Yeah.
So if you just leave it, it'll drain. It's not aggressive. It's not going to hunt you down. But if it ever gets line of sight, it will just start draining because it sees you and it's like, well, you're not right. I need to equalize you. You've got shield bad. Remove shield. You've got ammo. You're not supposed to have ammo. I'm going to take that off you. Right? How do you interact with it? Right. So you can just ignore it if you wanted, or because if you stay stuck in a room because you have to defend a thing and these things just draining your energy while you're doing a mobile defense. Like, do you remember the room that's sort of like an amphitheater where there's a mobile defense in the middle and there's like an upper level? Yeah. Imagine if there's one of those, just sitting in the middle of the room while you're trying to defend the console.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm just going to drain your shields. Right. So, but you can interact with it. And let's see. Breaking line of sight will stop at drain. If a player deploys a resource pad, it will drain from that instead.
Ooh.
So you can distract them by putting down restore pads. And then it'll go, whoa, what's that? And instead, it'll focus entirely on draining the restore pad. And it'll sit there doing that, right?
Okay.
If it drains, there's a little bit of variation on this. Maybe it would be reduced. Maybe the early ones you see can drain a lot of pads. The later ones don't, right? If it drains a pad, the orbiting sections slowly expand and it will slowly move away from it. Once too many pads have been used, it will stop draining powers. So it will stop draining anything from players, but will just sit there spamming and buffing enemies instead.
Okay. So you can't feed it too much.
If you feed it too much, it opens up completely and just starts buffing all the enemies massively.
Right.
But during that window, you could be like, right, we're just using this mobile defense, put down some pads. We have to last 1 minute, 30 seconds. As long as, if it's on a lower level mission, maybe you can just basically throw pads at it and it will go. Or maybe on a higher level mission, you go, right, okay, we've got 30 seconds left. Quick, put down a pad before it goes into super mode and starts buffing all the enemies.
Okay. So I'm trying to. So first off, is there any way to kill it?
You can shoot it. Very armored, very shieldy.
I'm gonna suggest, like personally, I think this thing should chase you down. So if it sees you, it'll follow you until, like, it, as you said, loses line of sight with you. So one thing you could do is drop a pad on the floor, and it will start feeding off of the pad, and then you could break line of sight with it completely. And then, although to be fair, if you've got like a mobile defense and things like that, the worst contender would be a defense, because then how do you get rid of it? Because you can't leave.
Exactly. Yeah. I also worry about this thing trying to fit through doors, and that maybe you could have it just teleport around, I guess. But I just can't see this thing floating down towards a door and going through it. It just doesn't seem like this thing's about.
I don't know if you've just cut out or did you stop?
I just stopped. Yeah.
Okay, right, cool. No, I really like this. I like the idea that not only will it take from you, but it will also buff enemies. So I can easily see that this exists in the Void Towers, right? You would also see it on Lua, right?
Yeah.
but would it buff the normal Grineer and Corpus, or would it only buff the corrupted?
No, buff. Maybe it would make corrupted.
That's brilliant. I like that. So it starts turning enemies. Maybe it could try and turn you corrupted, but like obviously it doesn't.
Well, yeah, that's what it's trying. Maybe that's what it's trying to do, because it's confused as to what you are and why you're not. What it's expecting perfection, and you're not that. But yeah, on the moon, it would just generate corrupted. I guess would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that, and obviously
because there was always the talk of the neural sentry, and the most we had from that is everything was corrupted, and there was those little tiny shield drones, and that's it. I'm like, no, I want to give it something. The neural sentry should have something bigger and chunkier.
Yeah,
I mean, this. I think actually think about it. I think it should be bigger than a beach ball. I think it should be quite chunky. I like chunky, big thing.
I get where you're coming from, but I think you should keep this like small enough to simply fit through a door. Because I do like the idea that it can chase you around and things like that. It's supposed to go around cleaning stuff up. I love the idea of it teleporting, but then how would you ever get rid of it kind of thing? And I also kind of like the idea that you can't destroy this thing because, you know, it's just, I don't know, maybe it gets its supply from the environment. Maybe it can't be, you get the idea.
I guess you could maybe change it or have a different variant that when you kill it, that's when the bad thing happens. I don't know what the bad thing would be, but yeah.
All the corrupted turn up. Like there's 5 times as many corrupted just turn up. They get teleported in and like, oh crap.
Just opens up portals and then something like that. Yeah, because that's the whole point of all my options, all these mobs that I wanted, is that it was supposed to be a player choice that you can you're affecting your environment and your play style through your own actions. That these mobs would not just be a mob and your choices are either just kill it or finish the mission. It's like, right, okay, you can just ignore these things if you want, but you're going to be interacting with them even if you don't even choose to attack them. They're going to be doing something to you.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool, that's my third one. So let us have yours. And then obviously the variants were just shield ammo and energy for what was really draining. So I didn't think it was on that because ammo I thought would be the fun one. It's like, damn it, got no. It's like, well, okay, I can use melee, or you have to deal with it. Yep.
Cool.
Right. Let me click off the last spoiler.
Right.
Boop.
You ready?
Hang on. Boop. Ooh.
You ready?
Oh, he's a whippy boy. Right. Yep. Right. What is that?
I give you the Infested Devourer.
Oh, okay.
The Devourer was born of a damaged Grineer Kuva siphon, left behind after multiple Grineer incursions on Eris. After years of interacting with the damaged technology, the infestation was able to finally absorb and fuse with the Kuva siphons laying scattered around and forming the new Kuva strain of Infested. The Infested Devourer being the first. The Devourer roams the Origin system in search of Kuva, and in doing so, it spreads the new strain of the infestation. The Devourer has 95% damage reduction. It could be higher, but 95 damage reduction buff for 30 seconds. Once its damage reduction runs out, it starts to draw Kuva out of the environment. 1 plus the number of Kuva clouds. Sorry, 1 plus the number. That's supposed to be 1 plus the number of players. Sorry, Kuva clouds spawn in the environment, and if 1 makes it to the Devourer, it regains its 95% damage reduction.
Right.
It attacks by shooting slow homing projectiles from its cannon-like arms. The Tenno defeats the Devourer by cutting off its supply of Kuva, and it's losing its damage reduction. If the Devourer cannot feed, it becomes enraged and gets a 300% damage increase until it's defeated. It will not try to feed again. Likewise, the Tenno can defeat the Devourer with raw damage, but you're talking like insane numbers, right? You know, like a Necromech without the nerf kind of insane numbers. So everyone would have to gang up on this thing. So
Well, I've not seen an Ecromech before. Have they nerfed them now? Have they?
I don't know if they've nerfed them now. I know Tactical Potato put out a video which you saw like 12 million damage or 128 million damage coming off a Necromech, and Scott was like, "Yeah, that's getting nerfed. That is not intended in the slightest." So
I love that I know I didn't intend it this time, but my strategy of just don't play a new piece of content for a couple of months till they make it balanced, and then you can enjoy it as probably intended.
Yeah,
seems to work out again.
Yep. But yeah, so the whole idea of this is it's this like, Grineer. It's effectively it's a Kuva siphon that got infested.
Yeah,
and,
no, like that.
Yeah, and it's just roaming around. And the other variations, one had flamethrowers, and the other one you couldn't defeat unless you cut off the tendrils. So you can see like the Kuva tendril, like the braids, sorry, in the back. So right now with a Kuva siphon, you grab the cloud and then it will the braid will blow up. That variation, you grab the cloud, the braid will become vulnerable and flailing around like nuts. You then have to cut it off, or like basically blow it up before.
I think that's how it worked originally on the Kuva siphon for like a day, and then they changed it. The Kuva siphons, the original ones. I don't think. Yeah, you didn't play or something for a day, didn't you?
I didn't do them.
They were a little different. I swear there was something. It was weird. I think you then shot them. They became vulnerable, but now they just blow up because just simplify everything because everything needs to be simple. Yeah, I love that this is basically, as I said, get anything.
And it could become infested. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but this is obviously one mob, and I like the idea of this being the start of a Kuva fused infested strain.
Yeah.
Would it interact with other infestation and like Kuva size them or anything?
That wasn't the original intention, but it could easily do that. So, like any enemies, like any infested that are around it, like it could interact with and make it part of the Kuva strain, and then those things could gain buffs. I mean, like,
yeah,
I'd happily
one maybe where it spawns the Kuva. So when it spawns the Kuva, what they call wisps or whatever,
the clouds, yeah,
Sometimes it'll pull them in, and then other times it'll make them attack nearby infestation. If it reaches a certain infestation, it'll turn it into one which will become a suicide bomber or something. It'll just charge at you and explode or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
and release all the Kuva energy. So you have to make a choice. But the bit when you're saying about the buffs, so there's the 95% damage debuff, and then if you stop
damage reduction.
Damage reduction, sorry. And if you stop that, it goes berserk.
Yes.
And then it doesn't do the damage reduction anymore.
No, it doesn't try to consume Kuva
so you just do it once and then it stops.
No, I think you're supposed to do it like once per braid. So it would have depending on the difficulty, maybe like it would have 2, 3, 4 braids, and then you would have to do it per braid. But then when it can't feed anymore, it would then go berserk. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. No, yeah, I see what you mean. But I think it'd be really cool if you had to manage, sort of, make it more tactical, make it more of a realistic creature. If you give it, so every time it goes, you stop the damage buff, it goes mad.
Yeah.
However, if you don't do let it get a damage reduction phase afterwards, the next rage mode is even harder. So
it scales up.
It scales up. So in theory, you have to let it have a damage reduction phase to cool it off before you go. So it's okay, well, we're not going to have to kill it. We have to let it get a buff and just ignore it for a bit to let it cool off before. Because if it gets too mad, it just goes mental and just leaps straight at you, one shot you or something.
I also like the idea that the number of clouds that would spawn would be the number of players plus one.
Plus one, yeah.
So if you're soloing it, there's 2 clouds. If there's a full team of 4 people, there's 5 clouds, and you can't let one touch it. Otherwise, So yeah,
I do like that because it should stop people go, oh, I'll just shoot it. You deal with that. It's like, no. We all need to deal with these clouds. Just all to engage with the mechanic.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right, so that's it. I do know that some people sent their ideas for.
Okay.
I didn't have time to go through them. However, I also wanted the opportunity for people to submit their ideas and things in the comments of this episode.
Right.
So if you
okay. So next time, are we going to do a?
Yeah, well, let's talk about what other people submit and things like that. So, what I will say is put your thoughts and ideas of what we've done in the comments, and if you have your own ideas and things, shove them in there as well. We'll take note of them, and then the next time it's just Loz and Die, we can do another one of these, and it's the community's ideas.
Yeah.
So. We'll put them to the side, or if you want to send me a link to them in Google Docs or something, we can go from there. Any community, like any fan art and things, as long as it's not obscene or anything, we can show it on screen. And
my mom is the boob monster. It's made of boobs.
Oh, dude, like I've watched Blood of Zeus, watched for the last couple of days, and it's like. That's an excessive number of boobs, and I've watched Rick and Morty.
Boobs. Right, fair enough. So, shall we move on to the graphs?
Yes. So, have you taken the time? Have you taken the time?
What's it look like?
I don't know, because I had to reopen the document. I was just looking at my other document. You're taking the time. Good, man.
Got my keyboard down here.
Well, I can't see your keyboard down there. I can only see two fingers. Typing wrong.
Because it's digital.
Okay, cool. Can't you just type with a regular finger dexterity? Anyway, cool. So going into the graphs of last week, are you like, listen, yo, stop giving me sass, right? So last week, first card. What year did you start playing Warframe? Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 8% said 2019. And another 8% said 2017.
Okay, I think it's probably better to go chronologically through.
Okay,
or go
cool.
back in time. Go back in time.
Yep. So, 2020 is not even on here, so that means no one said 2020.
We don't have new viewers.
Cool. So no one started in 2020. That's kind of a bad thing. But moving on. 2019 said 8% said 2019. Trying to find 2018. 19%.
There you are.
Yep. 19% said 2018. 8% said 2017. 12% said 2016. 15% said 2015. 12% said 2014. And a surprising 27% said 2013.
Now, can I just check? Isn't 2013 people in the closed beta?
No, because we started July 2013.
Did we?
Well, technically mine was October 2012. But no, the open beta started in 2013.
Right, okay,
like
so yeah. So right, so we haven't got 2012 up there as an option, do we?
No.
Oh, okay, that's sad. Still, interesting. So 2013 is still the highest, so there's a lot of hardcore people playing Warframe for a long time. Then, so what was 2018?
Oh,
Venus?
No,
Venus.
No, that's just the Sacrifice.
And Venus?
No, Venus was out 2017.
Really?
Yes. Remember this? Sorry. Sanctuary Onslaught. No, but genuinely, 2018 was the year that we did the 24 hours on Venus, where they had just released the Exploiter, like
right,
a couple of days before we started, or was it the day of we were doing the 24-hour on Valis, and which meant that that came out like November the year before, so it's 2017 when that came out. I don't think anything else came out that year, unless I'm forgetting something really like obvious, but I don't think I am. because that was the year of content drought mostly. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Right. Next one.
Cool. Our next graph is have you ever gone back and watched the old episodes of Tenno Clock, right? 12% have said that they have been here since the beginning.
Hurrah!
That is incredible. I genuinely thought no one was going to say that, right? 38% have said no. Good, you're sensible. 50% have said yes. I watched that last week. Why did you go back? I had to sit through that. It's painful. So cringe. But as Loz just said, I salute you.
Do you still want D to pay your money?
Oh God, please never. So you know how we say we never remember the episode, right? I am never gonna forget 365. Right? I have been so scarred by my own cringe from 7 years ago. I will never forget that.
What? And the way that let's talk about this topic. Slam topic on screen for people to look at.
Oh,
so we're going to talk about this thing without explaining it. Oh dear.
I will forever hate that episode. I mean, yeah, we were agreeing with whatever, but right. So moving on to number 3. Do you feel Warframe still needs dedicated servers? Right. 27% said no, and another 27% said that they didn't care. 46% said yes. Right. This works in tandem with the next card, which is would you pay /host for a dedicated server for Warframe PvE? So this was what we were talking about during the actual original first episode, where would people actually pay for dedicated hosting and things, or would they be able to host it themselves? Which obviously they gave us dedicated servers for Conclave. The ability to host dedicated servers for Conclave. So 24% said yes, I'd host. 24% said yes, I'd pay. And then 52% said no.
So people want there to be servers, but they don't want to pay for them.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the foresight, I would have checked how many people said yes and how many people said that they'd pay for them, or do a cross comparison. But this week's been manic. I've not had the chance to. So yeah, it could be that there's a correlation, or it could be that the people that said no, didn't care, said that they wouldn't pay for it. Yeah. So I'm not going to make the same mistake last time and just guess. Yeah, this is clearly the instance. So clearly the people that said yes won't pay for it. No, that we don't know. Yeah, cool. And then the last card is: do you feel the game could benefit from an expansion of the Dragon Key system with newer rewards? Right. 16% said no, put the new rewards somewhere new. 28% said yes, allow us to combine the keys. And another 28% said yes, give us more keys. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find poses so I can look interesting. Yes,
Jojo. Right, and then 32% said that they didn't care. So I'm actually kind of sad that 32% said that they didn't care.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that 16% was the lowest number saying no, ditch the Dragon Keys. So yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if every node in the galaxy had a tick next to it and you had to complete it with 4 Dragon Keys equipped to get that tick?
Yeah, I think that would be interesting, to be fair. I think more people would. I think people would certainly do it. I mean, I still haven't finished the Steel Path.
No, me neither, but I work on slowly through it. But at the same time, it's just, again, put cosmetic reward at the end. Who's it hurting?
True.
More content.
True.
Yeah. Doesn't require updating or anything. It's just a thing in the game that says, do you have Dragon Code equipped? Yes. tick thing for mission finished. Then when it says you've done all the missions, well, there you go. Have a cosmetics, job done.
Cool. All right, so
Yeah.
that's it for Le Graphs.
That's just a simple idea of how to just quickly expand it. You mean you could come up with clever ways, you know?
So that's the wrong document. Yep.
Beeping.
Yep.
Beeping. Beeping.
Sorry.
Very much the beeping.
For everyone's benefit, Loz and I, we play Xeno on mobile. And because certain events happen once every half hour, happen for half an hour sporadically through the day, we have alarms on our phones to actually remind us there's a thing about to start. And that was one of the things.
Beeping.
Right, so we're now going to go on and do the supporter questions. Do you want me to write down the time, or are you going to do it?
Do you want to do it? Well, you might as well do it, because that way I can start reading.
Yep.
Drunk Arbiter. Who should we have glassed while we had Nihil available? I can't say his name. Nihil. Who should we have glassed?
Okay, I'm going to let...
Little Duck.
Wow, he got it before I even asked the question. I was going to say, I'll let Loz guess who I'm going to say.
No. It's not a guess of who you're going to say. This just needs to be done. This needs to be done. No questioning.
No question.
No questioning.
Should we? Yeah. Next.
I bias bird from us.
Yep.
Is this alien?
Yep.
With recent events, has Cyberpunk finally hit the level of delays that Warframe experiences?
So for everyone,
it'll come out. No need for death threats. Just I am going to play this. I really am. I've got my, I'm thanks to my brother. I've got this lovely computer, and I'm going to play it, and it's going to be amazing and good fun. I'm looking forward to it because it's a proper solid 3D, proper story game, and I like The Witcher, which I keep trying to get into, and I want to play all the games, so I don't get time to do it. This is going to be so great, and I'm going to play it lots. But I'm not fussed. It'll come out when it comes out. Like, why are people getting so mad over this?
So hilariously, I was talking to my folks saying like, yeah, I've decided I'm bringing my PC back for Christmas. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, but why? It was like, because, I want to be able to play my big sparkly games and everything. He's like, yeah, but we've got a PC down here. It's like, yeah, but it's not as powerful as my one. And, yes, I know it's got a 970 graphics card in it, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm going to go down for the whole of December. I'm glad I'm taking the PC, because otherwise I won't get to play Cyberpunk at all.
Yeah.
So yes, it will come out when it's ready. But to be honest,
annoying. I think Shadowlands comes out 3 days after Cyberpunk. So is that going to get played?
No, it doesn't.
It does? Yeah.
No, it's 23rd of November. Cyberpunk's 10th of December.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it's not delayed to December. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they delayed it.
So, but I do hope that 3 weeks is just oh yeah, we only need 1 week to test it and things like that. But they went 3 weeks just from margin of error, because seriously, if it's oh no, we only need 3 weeks, we only need 4 weeks, we only need just 5 weeks, we just give 5 weeks, it's 6 weeks, it's just take the time you need, just get it done.
Yeah.
Next.
It's a bit different. You might say, oh well, if we ever complain about Warframe delaying a patch, you could just say a thing, just get it done. It's it is a bit different because Cyberpunk will release, and maybe there'll be expansions at a later point, but that's it. It will release and then be gone. Whereas Warframe is an ongoing thing.
Yep.
So missing content's a bigger thing for it, because you need content to keep a live service game going. You can't just be oh, we'll just delay this for more and more time. So there's a bit of difference there.
I also feel that the difference is, don't get me wrong, we have said, I'm very sure we have said, we need content, but the big year of we need content was 2018, where I'm pretty sure we had the Exploiter Orb, Sanctuary Onslaught, then many months later, the sacrifice, and then I can't remember if we had anything else for the remainder of that year. Surely we had a Christmas update.
Which year?
2018. Surely we had a Christmas update.
Might have been just like a quest.
Can't remember. Cannot remember at all. Let's move on.
Darth Dovaro says, "Do you think Nihil would glass someone for asking for a multiplicated amount of memes in the event of Tenno Clock episode 400 or 444 with the relevant?" Oh, is that the end of the question? You will have less memes now on 444. You will have 4 memes. This will be done.
This will not be done.
You had your double memes. You had them.
Yeah.
They were yours. Now.
We don't need to rush to another series of double memes. It's fine. But yeah. No, you're not allowed less.
With relevance to... I'll probably forget, don't worry. With relevance to Halloween stuff, what would you do if a skeleton horseman spouted poetic riddles to you that you had to solve in order for him to get away? What? In order for him to get away? Otherwise, he would drink all your root beer.
I assume that would be me. No, why would I sacrifice my root beer over me getting away? I bloody freaking.
Oh no! I think they're trapped with you, and you need to answer the riddles so that they can leave. And if they don't leave, they'll drink your root beer.
Weird. Very weird.
Okay.
But sorry, what was the key part of the question about riddles?
What would you do if a skeleton horseman spouted poetic riddles to you that you had to solve in order for him to get away? Otherwise, he would drink all your root beer.
I'd drink the root beer first.
Because
I'm shit at riddles.
I'm Playus Bird from us. On a more serious note, do you think that more Prime Access weapons should come with unique mechanics like the Ballistica Prime, Piranha Prime, and Venka Prime? Or are you fine with just statistical upgrades to them?
I don't even know what the different mechanics are.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just say yes.
I
would like additional stuff. I'd like it to vary. Don't just force one thing. Just vary it.
No, I think both are fine. But my issue with the statistical upgrades, I'm not expecting them to be like the next meta weapon, but sometimes when you look at some primes, it's like, what is the point? It's like, Zrugel asks, what was bullet time?
Something we will never, ever, 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 ever bring up again. Next question.
The correct answer is bullet time.
Shut up.
All the bullets.
Shut up. I'll keep talking over you. Move. Next question.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to try Grammarly?
Okay, if it's a case of trying Grammarly or answering the previous question, I'd try Grammarly. That's how much I do not want to answer the previous question. And you know how much I hate Grammarly.
You hate Grammarly. I think Zrugel's second question there, and after question you already not going to like, is just brilliant.
Cool.
Can I do a? Let's see, I could do a. Wah. That work?
Wah. Anyway.
What am I saying? That's it for community responses.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, it's supporter questions, and now we're on to community responses. There wasn't that many from last week. I assume most people must have looked at the 3-hour time point and gone, yeah, I'm not looking at that. So we'll try and keep this one below 2 hours. I doubt we're going to manage that. We're not even on to memes yet. So, Zrugel and Ryan Swass. Do you remember that we had a Volpera in the community shoutouts last time? Like, where his legs?
I think it was yes. Yeah.
Apparently, that's the downed form of it that it regenerates from.
Oh, cool! Thank you very much for telling us.
It floats around, beeping.
Why'd you have beeping?
It floats around. I think I must have put a sleeper on the timer and not
turned it off.
Yeah, there we go. That should work.
Fair enough.
Good. Right. Lobstar. The time. Oh, so the other two were just 2 points of people watching the stuff and just went. So Lobstar says, the time when Warframe was about being a badass instead of a guy in a suit running around while having a seizure with swords in his hands. Yep. And Yokai1235, I miss the great things that DE removed, like I think that's the mysteries or the Mysterios, it says, and the abrasive atmosphere where you feel you're fighting an enemy bigger than you and infinite, and now everything feels small. I really agree with this because I remember when you start a new game, you do get that feeling of like there's a world to explore, and so it does feel big. But at the same time, I remember that I finished the star chart, but it still felt like things could happen in the solar system. And when they added Gravidius Dilemma and the invasions and infestations, that was kind of the feeling I got from it, is that this was a solar system that still felt like it was being expanded upon, and it felt bigger and more immersive, and things were going to happen and things could shift and things. And then since then, it's just becomes more and more static, and that the mystery of the dark corners. Yeah, you felt like you were when you first playing Warframe. You felt you stepped into a dark room that somebody was still building, and that you couldn't see the other end of the room. Now I feel that they've started fixing the lights, and you can see the room, and there's just nothing there. It's just an empty room. It's like, oh well. But the mystery of what could be in the dark corners of the room was what was used to be amazing, and I'm sad.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel that a lot more of the problem is that though they have turned on some of the lights, they're putting these boxes with question marks around everything. Like a whole quandary about what the fuck is Ballas actually up to. Like I do feel that they're trying to bring in more mystery. Like, oh look, Ballas now has sentient. Like Ballas is leading era. Ballas is, oh, the Entrant. Oh, Pavos Granum with his own void pocket. Oh, Nathaniel's Pavos Granum. Like it just feels like there's too many questions now being asked as opposed to enough questions with enough answers. The other part, I feel I think there was a comment in there about feeling small, like, you're not able to. I kind of interpreted that as you're not doing insane amounts of damage. Does one not remember the Soma?
No, actually, I think I know what the feeling is on that. Is before, even when you had the Soma, right? It felt like you had this gun, and this gun could kill Grineer. It just could massacre a whole room of Grineer. That didn't matter. It didn't matter how many. Yeah, it could, but it didn't. Even so, you felt because you remember the lights and things about how dark it was. It just felt so oppressive that like nobody cared. It didn't. Okay, yeah, you may have rescued one person. The Great Grineer War Machine doesn't give a damn. It just keeps on going. You're just a mosquito to its elephant, to the elephant that it is. Whereas now, with the fact that we can pump out damage between 20 million different sources, we just dominate the whole map. It's not even dark anymore. It doesn't feel oppressive. It feels like, oh yeah, look, you're in charge of all this. It just feels like that we've won. This is why I feel that the first topic we're talking about, we should lose. We never lose. It doesn't even feel like, because that was a good feeling before, that it felt that though, like, even though you were winning, you weren't winning because you couldn't win. Because the Great Grineer War Machine was so expansive. For every Grineer you cloned, 4 more would come out, and like, who cares? And the Corpus, that even though you were killing all these robots, they just make more robots. They don't give a damn. It's like, okay, you've just put negative on my cash balance sheet. Whoop-de-doo, I can make another 5,000 robots in 10 hours. So it felt that you were only achieving small victories in a universe that didn't care about you. Now, because it's so bright, because we win every plot thing, because we're the best specialist person ever. Oh yes, we're the one that Lotus comes to see. We're the only bloody Tenno. It's just fallen into the same trap that other games have, where you're the special chosen one and you can't lose.
I certainly agree with the latter part of your statement, but I do feel that the Grineer War Machine and the Corpus bank book, I don't know, what's it called? Like I lost that illusion way before things like the Second Dream. Anyway, next.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, so we're gonna move on to the memes.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. Right.
Whoop.
Okay. First one?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, crap. I haven't got these open myself. You haven't sent them to me. No! Wait, hold on. I can just look in our shared directory.
Oh, sorry, I haven't put them in the document. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Solution. Done. What the hell is this?
I don't know if this is from a game, a concept art, or if someone actually built this. I can't tell. But it looks like a mower, or it's basically a real life mower, or like mower with human legs. And the topics is at the top: power, precision, prestige, the pinnacle of a warsmith's art. Oh, this better not be from Destiny. I don't know, but it's just like, look at it. Look at it.
Why does it have a bum?
Because it's got human legs. It's not actually a mower. It's a pair of legs with guns.
Yeah. No, it's a gun with a pair of legs.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Memes.
I want to know what this is from. Because if this is Destiny, I'll be like, I'm ripping out full frame.
Well, you've got the stand clear on the buttocks. If you probably can't zoom in, bottom picture, it says stand clear at the back of the on the arse has got it printed on it. So yes, I don't know what's going on there, but still, yeah. But memes.
How do they work?
Memes. How do they work? The mysteries. Right, meme number 2. Oh god, this is just a screenshot, and I thought it was brilliant. It was just on the memes.
Okay.
When did they hire the Rachnoid?
What the hell?
I love it. I just love it. There's one image. I didn't get that many upvotes, but I'm just like, screenshot. It's like, oh, okay.
Why is there a Rachnoid in there?
Who knows? Who knows? They've just bought a Rachnoid now. It's part of the team. It's you've got the description. It says, often found near the exploiter orb, these Rachnoids carry deep ice coolant that they use to protect themselves while harvesting thermofractures. Just in the room.
I kind of feel that this is work placement Rachnoid, and it's here to study off of Unico. Like it's it's going to be the next foreman of Fortuna. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3.
Oh, can I click? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Hold on.
Look at them. They talk in this place when they are not mute.
What?
The four horsemen of not shutting the fuck up. We have Lotus with reactants. Reactinants.
Yeah.
We have Alan V always moaning on about his amalgams.
Yeah.
We have Grey Heck and his ghouls.
Yeah.
And lastly, hold up.
Oh, Nora. Oh,
yep.
Nora.
So, number 4.
Ooh, hold on. Number 4. Yeah.
Just entitled, this was the highest one for this week, apparently. So long, partner.
Sorry, hold
October
on.
27.
Not changing for me. Why is it not changing for me?
On screen.
No, it's the image isn't opening. There we go. Cool. What the hell?
So long, partner. October 27 begins. Prime Vault. Oh no, Misa disappearing. As the Prime Vault goes away.
No, I get that, right? But
Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Jar Jar. No. But those people in the comments were... It's interesting. There was actually memes about this, about people farming the things from the Prime Vault. And I do feel that I'm just so disconnected with like the average players. Like you saw that some of those players were 2018, 2019 players.
Yeah.
They're probably like playing through and like when things unvault, they're like, oh my God, things have unvaulted. New things to get in the void. Wow. Yeah. And I'm just like sitting back on my Prime Access little throne going, oh, are they back? Who knows?
Right. Number is it number 5?
Dust off my shoulder. Yes. There we go. Yes. Rip some dust off
your Prime relic.
My Prime cosmetics. Just yes, this is good. Yes. What is this?
Oh my
very good.
God.
Very good.
Right.
Meme number 5.
Boop. What the hell?
Oh yeah. Memes. Some memes are simple. This one is just entitled "Fact." Can you read it out? You know,
If a poison doesn't poison, it's not a poison.
Exactly. And that is how poison works. Poison girls and others. And anyone
Oh,
between.
wow. This is on par with people die when they're killed.
Exactly. People die when they're killed. If a poison does not poison, it is
It's
not a poison.
Oh, my God. Okay, cool.
And,
Last one?
oh, yes. Then one for Xeno for the end.
Okay.
Corpus ship reactor sabotage choices.
Fuel cell.
Fuel cell. I can't remember which ones are which. I assume you do. Fuel cell reinserted into reactor core.
Fire.
Which one's that? Fuel cell inserted into coolant station.
That's the dark magnetic stuff.
Is that the one you normally go for?
Shit, is it?
I know it's not fire that you go for.
Yeah,
I think it's the middle one you go for.
I think it's fuel into the coolant. So it does like everything. It's the magnetic where on Jupiter all the lights go out.
Yeah, and then you can go straight to the exit because there's nothing stopping you where it's fire. Right, and then lastly, coolant cell inserted into reactor. Which one's that?
That's cold. Or if it's
well,
Jupiter, it's just magnetic, but the lights are still on.
Right, okay. Well, apparently that's the wrong one to pick according to this.
Yes, no, it's always the wrong one to pick because it just delays everything by hours. I want to say hours, I'm exaggerating. Because you have to defend the pipes and everything, and it's like, to be honest, I'm also, you don't pick the fuel in the reactor because it again it's slow.
You have to do the lock door thing, don't you?
Yeah. But the fuel cell in the coolant is like, that's the cool suave one because it doesn't take nearly as much time. There's no chance of failing it, and you just leave.
Yep.
Cool.
Right. That's the rest of the memes.
Awesome. What the hell is that Winnie the Pooh though? It's like
I don't know.
That's
I assume it's
nightmare fuel. That's genuine night. Right.
Oh, hang on. Let me go get these things. Keep going. Right. What we got?
Oh, hold on. Let me write down the time. Cool. Right. So now we're moving on to the community shoutouts. The first community shoutout is Halloween 2020 by Chicken Draws Dogs. I've spelt chicken wrong. It's now been corrected. Loz is looking at them at bated breath.
No, I just get the links open. Right, okay. Cool. So this one is Chicken Draws Dogs, yeah?
Yep. Halloween 2020.
Happy Halloween 2020, folks. Oh, cool. This is one of those rare commissions which I enjoyed so much I threw in a third character and a background for free.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, is that a Kratos Rhino?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Cool. So the
Oh wait, so what are the others supposed to be then?
Well, I think Chroma is just Chroma.
Right.
But I can't see it right now. It might be that is that a Loki on top that's dressed up as Boy?
Would be Boy, yeah.
Right. Atreus, that's his name. Boy. Right, number 2 is this Xeno Fairy concept by Orn, and this is like Orn height. So
have we had them on?
No, we've not had them on.
Okay.
I don't think we've
that
had
is
them
amazing.
On. Yeah.
Would that be the thing is though with that is that would that be a whole new Warframe or would that just be a skin for Zephyr or Titania?
I would say it should be a whole new Warframe.
Tricky.
Right.
You must love this. This is like Guyvery. I love the feet.
Actually, to be fair, it feels more Zonoid than anything else, but yes.
Yeah.
Still fits.
Still fits. Yeah. It's more. I mean, more the art style actually.
Yes.
It's the way it is. The organic nature of things.
Eon Height did a lot of conceptual designs for sentience. We've had a lot of their art on before, and there's like a lot of cool sentient designs, like sentients that would walk around on their hands and use their legs to pick things up instead.
Yeah.
So anyway, or their legs would be socketed at their shoulder. You get the idea. The third community shout out is Tenno Toba 30, greed by Nauta. Nauta.
So that's how Necros does it.
Yep. Completely.
That's brilliant.
Please screw this up. Whatever. The fourth community shout out is Tenno Toba 29 Sentient by Dina Rahani. Rani.
That's inked, isn't it? That's properly done with a brush and everything.
Yeah,
and,
it's awesome.
Word.
There are no words, only Zool.
There's the thing that you can still feel. That's the thing that gets me is that in Warframe, you can just looking at that face, that cold, emotionless face.
Yeah,
you can see that like in the concept of start of things, you still has that feel of it, just doesn't care. But then when it gets implemented in game, I think maybe if this thing was just huge, could you imagine if it was walking and those are legs, not just floating things, and this thing was that you didn't come up to like halfway up its mandible on the floor. It was a form of eidolon or something. That face just staring at you, cold, emotionlessly. No, it's a shame. It's so small and fiddly to blow these things up.
I personally prefer them to be small. I do prefer them to be small.
Bombalists.
Maybe have it scurry around on the floor, but anyway. But the fifth community shout out is this Vulpifiler by someone's name. I'm trying to. Sorry, I clicked on a thing and then right. Vulpifiler by D3M1 Doodles. So this has taken them a long time to put together. What?
Oh wow! It didn't load for me, and then it popped in. Oh wow! Look at that. Vulpifiler's finally done. I tried to go more fast and loose on the brush strokes, but it still took me a while. This piece is a bit still experimental lighting, and it turned out nice.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. There it did. That is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And lastly,
number 6 is Nezha Prime Glyph by Povo844.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You make this big. Why can't we find people with that on their arm in game?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Instant win that. Have you picked up Prime Access?
Yes.
What do you think of the Ferrum?
I love it. I think it's actually really cool.
I like it, but it's too close. It circles, it orbits too close to some Warframes, I feel.
I feel it does that with Nezha, but like,
yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with it. I would like it. I like it that not subtle, but I suppose discreet. Like it's not like a mile away from them.
No, not a mile away, but I'd love a scale slider so I could just expand it as a ring, so it would just be a little bit away from. Because sometimes it looks like on Excalibur, it looks like a landworm in your chest rather than a floating thing around you.
Fair.
Yeah, fair. But still, this is awesome. Yeah. I mean, I want that on my arm. Why isn't that part Prime Access? Get me one of those.
Yep. Cool. So that's it for the community shoutouts. And then we're on to the last thing we do every week, which is Loz's turn. He's going to do the community shoutout. Not the community shoutout, the quote.
So the community shoutout this week. I liked. Okay. Someone asked me once if I knew the difference between a Warframe and a Tenno. I know now. A Tenno has the courage to make the safety of the Orokin race their personal responsibility. Rel was my friend. He was a warrior. But most important, he was a Tenno of the Empire.
Fuck. I recognize this. Do it again.
Someone asked me once if I knew the difference between a Warframe and a Tenno. I know now. A Tenno has the courage to make the safety of the Orokin race their personal responsibility. Rel was my friend. He was a warrior. But most important, he was a Tenno of the Empire.
Captain America Civil War. No, Winter Soldier.
Nope.
Oh, shit. Is it... I was asked what's the difference between like a soldier and a hero?
Nope.
Oh, fuck. Old or new?
Old.
Old. Oh shit.
97.
97. Monday.
Future. Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
87.
97.
97 even. 7. What? 97. Fuck. Do it again?
Someone asked me once if I knew the difference between a Warframe and a Tenno. I know now. A Tenno has the courage to make the safety of the Orokin race their personal responsibility. Rel was my friend. He was a warrior. Most important, he was a Tenno of the Empire.
Am I going to kick myself?
Yes. Do you want a big hint?
Hold on, my brain's slowly ticking over. Fuck, I do recognize this. I can't think what the comparison is. What's the difference between X and Y?
Do you want those?
Yeah,
Maybe
give me
that'll help
those.
you?
Give me those.
Civilian and citizen.
Fuck. What's the difference between a civilian and Nah, I'm you know what? I'm not gonna put everyone out there.
Really?
I'm gonna put No, honestly, I cannot think of what the hell this is. But I definitely know I've seen this because I recognize the bloody quote. What's the difference between a citizen and a civilian? Oh, this is gonna do my head in. No, just give it to me. Just give it to me. No, just give it to me.
I'll give you one last hint. No, I'll give you one last hint. I've already mentioned it this episode of 10 o'clock.
Dude, I can't fucking remember what we've done this episode of 10 o'clock. We're still recording it. You've already mentioned
I've already mentioned one film. I mentioned a film earlier.
Fuck, I don't even remember when you mentioned a film.
That's why I was like, I started talking about it, like, damn it, that's my quote. That's why it's in my mind.
Fuck, I can't even remember what movie you bloody mentioned. I remember you mentioning a movie. I just can't remember what the fuck it was.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, go on.
Starship Troopers.
Oh, shit.
Someone asked me once if I knew the difference between a civilian and a citizen. I know now. A citizen has the courage to make the safety of the human race their personal responsibility. Dizzy was my friend. She was a soldier. But most important, she was a citizen of the Federation.
Yeah. I was wondering, I wonder if he's just slipped up and actually told me his quote. I just completely forgot. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, Starship Troopers, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jeez, that's been Yeah,
hey, look, Patreon supporters.
Yeah, that's
people
been a hot minute
cool.
Since I
it's a good film. We should, if you watch the sequels are hilarious. But
no, to be honest, I wasn't a fan of the first one.
What? I can't even do some sort of funny animation because you just see these cool Patreon supporters of people's awesome names.